This project is titled Don't Mind If I Do.
This iteration of the project features artists Panta Abareshi, Luceza Brompman Verissimo, Pelena Keke Brown, Sky Kubakub, Kaya Davis, Emily L. Gossio, Felicia Griffin, Peter Harris, Joselia Rebecca Hughes, Jeff Casper, M. Kettner, and me, Finnegan Shannon.
We would also like to thank Ainsley Buckner and Sears ThinkBox for fabrication support, Daria Hanif Alton for cushion sewing, Chad Fust for 3D scanning support, Nathan Florsheim for furniture support, Amelia Brode for advice, and Nema Ali, Hanson Coleman, Ashley Dinsey, Myla Fay, Orion Martin, and Nora Rodriguez for general support. Welcome to my Access Fantasy. I'm disabled and I need to sit, and I love to sit. I've been dreaming about an exhibition where instead of having to move from artwork to artwork, I could sit somewhere comfortable and have the artwork come to me. So voila! Here we have a conveyor belt of artworks surrounded by a variety of seating options. When planning this project, a big question was, what artwork should the conveyor carry? The artists, writers, and thinkers featured here nourish my life and my practice, and I can't resist a chance to share their work. Each of the objects presented asks for varied ways of interacting and opens up possibilities for how and what an artwork can convey. I invite you to find a spot to your liking. From there, you have options for how you might experience the work. Choose one or a combo. You can watch as a parade of objects moves by you. You can pick something up and spend time with it. Touching things is very much encouraged, though of course, touch with tenderness. Or listen to audio description.
This audio is available in the space and through the Sacramento State University Gallery's website, which is at csus.edu/university-galleries.
This is Finnegan Shannon, and a lot of the artwork that I contributed to this project are elements of the overall space. The most important element is a work titled My Access Fantasy from this year. It's a conveyor belt from the company 888 Brands Limited, modified by myself and Peter Reese. This is a 25-foot conveyor belt. It's kind of like a long banquet table. It's installed at a little tilt, and it moves all of the smaller objects in a continuous counterclockwise loop through the space. It has a bright blue edge. I got to pick that color. And each object rests on a little tray that's covered in felt. So each has a little station that it moves around on. Surrounding the conveyor belt is a bunch of furniture. This work is titled Variety/Comfort/Variety of Comforts. It's also from 2023.
All of the furniture in the show was thrifted in the Sacramento area and collected through the university's surplus.
When I was showing the space to Joselia, she said it had a grandma's house vibe, which I think, it's a real eclectic mix of used furniture. We've got couches, recliners, armchairs, dining room chairs, rocking chairs, kids' chairs, side tables, and also a real mix of styles. There's plaid, there's florals, there's paisley, there's wood, there's leather. And those are arranged, some very close to the conveyor belt, kind of again like you're sitting at a dining room table, and then some are farther back. And then there's also a series of work that I made specifically to kind of support the experience of the show. So one is called Warmth for Don't Mind If I Do from 2023, and these are 2 throw quilts that I made. They're simple 9-square quilts with a little embroidered conveyor belt icon in the center. They're hand-tied quilts, and those are things that people can use to stay warm in the space. Museums are notoriously cold. There's also Air for Don't Mind If I Do, also from 2023. There are 3 of these in the space. They're Corsi Rosenthal boxes, which is a type of DIY air purifier. That's basically 3 air purifiers, or 3 air filters, duct taped into a box with cardboard on the bottom and a box fan on the top. And it sucks air through the air filters and then up out the top of the box, bringing cleaner air into the space. And I had a little fun with the colors in these. So all the duct tape is lime green and the box fans are a nice bright blue. Another artwork in the space is called Softness for Don't Mind If I Do, also from 2023. It's a series of 13 pillows and cushions sewn by Daria Hanif Alton. About half are purple and half are yellow, and these sit kind of scattered over different furniture pieces. Some are really fitted to the shapes of certain chair seats, and others are more like throw pillows. And they all have some custom machine embroidery on them that's a circle of dots with arrows between, which is a little icon that I made in reference to the kind of motion of the conveyor belt. Also in the space is a work called Slow Spin from 2023, and there are a series of 7 clocks, but unlike a typical clock that shows the hour and the minutes, these only show the day of the week. So the clock hand moves extremely slowly. It makes a full rotation every 7 days, and it points to the current day. Each of them starts with a different day in the kind of first position. So the angle of the hands of all of the clocks are at different angles throughout the space, but they all point to the current day. What you're listening to right now is also an artwork. It's called Description for Don't Mind If I Do.
This description was made in 2023 and updated in 2024, and it's available in the space and through the Sacramento State University Gallery's website, which is csus.edu/university-galleries.
There's also a work called Work Info for Don't Mind If I Do. That's a zine I made with Tom Poole that lists all of the artwork info with little drawings showing each of the artworks. There aren't wall labels in the space, so this is kind of the way that works in parallel to the audio description in terms of being a way to identify which artworks are by which artist. This work is by Emily Louise Gossio, titled Dog Paw on Foot from 2023, and it's a 3D print made of plastic. There's a little dog paw resting on a representation of a human foot. You can feel the toes, you can feel the little dog claws, and they're stacked almost like they're kind of reminds me of sometimes when a dog wants to get your attention or kind of steps on your foot, or almost like holding hands, but holding feet. Felicia Griffin, titled Pom Pom. Material is yarn, and here courtesy of the artist and Naiad Art Center. Felicia's pom-poms are soft and fluffy and asymmetrical. They use a variety of materials, so some parts are woollier, some parts are stringier. Sometimes there will be one really long string, and they're big. They're maybe the size of like cabbage or a dinner plate. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. This work is by Lucchesa Bronfman Verissimo, titled To Fly as a Collective We in Rooted Ritual from 2023, cardboard and acrylic paint. This is a cutout winged shape. It reminds me of a butterfly loosely. First, it was painted black, and then the text emerges from the negative space. It spans the wings of the shape, and it's very hand lettered. And there's some looseness to the letter shapes, and they become thinner at points and thicker. One side reads in rooted ritual. The other side, again filling up the shape, is text that reads to fly as a collective we. And the words get broken up, and for example, as there's a A on one wingtip and an S on an opposite one below it. This artwork is by Jeff Casper. It's titled Wrestling Embrace from 2023. It's a series of 40 playing cards featuring contemplative and interactive prompts for pairs. It's an open edition. I'm holding a black box. The front says, Are you ... Wrestling Embrace. Relationship Exercises by Jeff Casper. The back of the box has instructions. It reads, Find a partner, draw 3 cards per person, don't share your cards unless otherwise noted, read the top of the card to establish a distance, get comfortable, use verbal language if you must, set a timer if you wish, negotiate consent, perform or contemplate the card, if you draw a blank, improvise, stop at any time, always prioritize respect, please return the cards when finished. There's a little icon of a knot, and below that it reads, These exercises encourage physical touch, guided contemplation, and interpersonal communication. If you are not in the body/mind/emotional space to relinquish personal boundaries, this might not be for you. When I open the box, there's a small instructional booklet. It repeats some of the information on the exterior of the box and also says, talk about your intentions with your partner. You don't necessarily have to tell them exactly what you're planning at all times. Sometimes surprises are fun, but you don't want to do anything your partner hates either. Pay attention and slow down. Don't rush into things you haven't tried yet. Establish a safe word or a code word that means stop, really, I mean it. If you are playing non-verbally, establish another way to say enough. One common solution is to ring a bell. Be a calming agent. Regardless of whether you seek to resolve conflict with your partner or you are dealing with your own conflict, your response can escalate or decrease the intensity of the problem. To be calming, provide an objective or neutral point of view. Encourage the formation of an actionable plan of how you are going to work with your partner to achieve a resolution. We also have a little bio for Jeff. He's an artist, designer, facilitator, and educator living in Western Massachusetts. His work inspires cultures of trauma-informed support and circulates resources through publications, media, and conceptual social spaces at Jeff Casper Studio. I've drawn 3 cards. The back of the first has a simple looped knot. The card reads, hold a distance no more than 3 feet. Take on the role of an interrogator. Attempt to extract information from your partner. Be persuasive without causing harm. Use words only if you must. Note, this kind of scenario can be psychologically triggering for some people. Therefore, it's very important that each person be alert not only to the physical safety, but also to the emotional state of each partner. It's vital that you be alert to any sudden and unwanted panic or emotional reactions, and that you be ready to end the scene if it should occur. Establish a safe word before you begin. Either person can use this word to end the scene. We recommend the safe word, trust. The second card has a sort of ladder-shaped knot on the back. The card reads, keep a distance of less than 1 foot. Approach your partner carefully. Smile and say some caring words or compliments. Mean it. What did you notice that you admire or respect? Let them know. The third card has a very loopy knot on the back. It reads, hold a distance of no more than 4 feet. You may choose to share this card with your partner. Start out with a pretty easy goal and work your way up from there. Set a timer for 5 minutes and focus completely on your partner for that time period. If time allows, then take a 2-minute break before going at it again for another 5 minutes. Repeat this action each day. Add another 5 minutes to practice focusing, allotting an additional 2 or so minutes as a break. In more than a week, you should be able to be with your partner for 45 minutes straight before you allow yourself a half-hour break. Once you get comfortable, you can work to lengthen your focus time a little while shortening your break times. The cards are also paired with a small timer that says a length of time. I'm pretty charmed by the fact that they're color-coded and the sand in the timer is also color-coded. The one I'm holding is for 5 minutes and it's bright green with bright green sand. Ringing the Whole Space is a work by me, Finnegan Shannon, and Lucchesa Bronfman Verissimo. It's titled We Hold Us. It's from 2023, and the material is a wall mural. It's maybe about my shoulder height above the ground, so maybe a little more, like 4.5 or 5 feet above the ground, and it runs along the wall all the way around the space. Each letter is cut out of this material called chipboard, kind of a thin cardboard, and each letter is cut out individually. Half were cut out by Lucchesa and half cut out by me. And then they're adhered to the wall, so together, string together this poem that Lucchesa wrote. They wove together some writing that I had done about the show, some phrases I had thought of related to the show, and some of their own writing. And now I'll read the poem.
The piece starts right as you enter the space to the left of the gallery's doorway.
And it says, we on our way, we want to meet you. We access fantasy. We sit and enjoy. Don't mind if we do. We links in a chain. We flowing. We looping. From us to you. From you to we. We being silly and serious. We hold us. Emily Gossio, Tongue and Paw, 2023. It's a 3D print made of plastic. So the paw is a dog paw. When I hold it, it really reminds me of when I do like shake with a dog. It really has that feel of a dog's paw. And then the tongue is made of a rubbery material. So it's a tongue and lips, but it has this kind of strange, soft material. So it has the jarring feeling of almost if you were to actually touch a tongue in this space. This is a work that me, Finnegan Shannon, made for the conveyor belt. It's titled House That I Modified to Be Stair Free and Planted Lavender in the Garden for Us. It's from 2023 and it's made of a modified vintage tissue box cover kit. So it's a tissue box cover shaped like a house, needle pointed. It has windows and curtains and a little door and a sweet cat in the window, a shingled roof, a little brick chimney. There are bushes and greenery in the garden, and there are tissues that come out of the chimney, kind of almost as though they're like smoke, and the tissues are for the taking. And all of the stitches that indicate flowers in the garden and bushes are lavender colored. This artwork is by Jeff Casper. It's titled Wrestling Embrace from 2023. It's a series of 40 playing cards featuring contemplative and interactive prompts for pairs. It's an open edition. I'm holding a black box. The front says, "Are you ... wrestling embrace? Relationship exercises by Jeff Casper." The back of the box has instructions. It reads, find a partner, draw 3 cards per person, don't share your cards unless otherwise noted, read the top of the card to establish a distance, get comfortable, use verbal language if you must, set a timer if you wish, negotiate consent, perform or contemplate the card, if you draw a blank, improvise, stop at any time, always prioritize respect, please return the cards when finished. There's a little icon of a knot, and below that it reads, these exercises encourage physical touch, guided contemplation, and interpersonal communication. If you are not in the body/mind/emotional space to relinquish personal boundaries, this might not be for you. When I open the box, there's a small instructional booklet. It repeats some of the information on the exterior of the box and also says, talk about your intentions with your partner. You don't necessarily have to tell them exactly what you're planning at all times. Sometimes surprises are fun, but you don't want to do anything your partner hates either. Pay attention and slow down. Don't rush into things you haven't tried yet. Establish a safe word or a code word that means stop, really, I mean it. If you are playing non-verbally, establish another way to say enough. One common solution is to ring a bell. Be a calming agent. Regardless of whether you seek to resolve conflict with your partner or you are dealing with your own conflict, your response can escalate or decrease the intensity of the problem. To be calming, provide an objective or neutral point of view. Encourage the formation of an actionable plan of how you are going to work with your partner to achieve a resolution. We also have a little bio for Jeff. He's an artist, designer, facilitator, and educator living in Western Massachusetts. His work inspires cultures of trauma-informed support and circulates resources through publications, media, and conceptual social spaces at Jeff Casper Studio. I've drawn 3 cards. The back of the first has a knot in one line of rope. The card reads, hold a distance of no more than 2 feet. Consider asking your partner what they are fearful of and why that particular thing upsets them so much. Tips. The act of exposing a fear can have the effect of neutralizing it. Don't make fun of your partner for it. They must go through their own journey. The back of the next card has a knot that's a loop and then almost looks frayed. The card reads, hold a distance near embrace. Share this card with your partner. Clarify ambiguous terms with your partner. Think about concepts that each of you may interpret differently. In training our capacity to be together, living with ambiguity is just as important as striving for clarity. Often they are part and parcel. Practice by saying something that matters to you. Have your partner do the same. Always ask, what do or did you mean by that? Or, it seems that you mean or meant ... Is that true? The third card has maybe I think this is called a square knot. 2 ropes looping through each other. It reads, hold any distance. Recite, Heartbreaks and promises, I've had more than my share. I'm tired of giving my love and getting nowhere, nowhere. What I need is somebody who really cares. I need a lover that wants to be there. It's been so long since I've touched a wanting hand. I can't put my love on the line. This I hope you'll understand. So, baby, if you want me, you've got to show me love. Don't you promise me the world. I've already heard. This time around for me, baby, actions speak louder than words. This piece is by Emily Louise Gossio, titled Red Dog Kong from 2023, and it's a 3D print made of plastic. This piece has kind of a snowman shape. It's 3 balls that are stacked on one another, getting slightly smaller. It's made to look and feel like a Dog Kong toy, but this is based on a ceramic piece that Emily made, so it doesn't have the evenness of something that was manufactured, but it's to scale with that, so it kind of fits in 2 hands. This work is by Jeff Casper, titled Things Remembered, brackets, I look fabulous, but I'm in a lot of pain. It's from 2023, etched compact mirror in gold, open edition. This object is really shiny. It picks up the reflections of everything around it, including me. I see myself layered with the engraved text that says, I look fabulous, but I'm in a lot of pain. And it opens with 2 mirrors inside, where I can again see parts of myself and my surroundings reflected in the piece. Sky Kubakub, black chainmail packer made of chainmail. It's a full Persian weave with anodized aluminum jump rings, courtesy of Rebirth Garments. The packers fit in my hand, and they're smooth and kind of these entangled chains. They feel really good. They remind me of stim toys. They make me want to move my hands over them and feel the texture of those aluminum rings, feel those surfaces. This artwork is by Jeff Casper. It's titled Wrestling Embrace from 2023. It's a series of 40 playing cards featuring contemplative and interactive prompts for pairs. It's an open edition. I'm holding a black box. The front says, Are you ... Wrestling Embrace. Relationship Exercises by Jeff Casper. The back of the box has instructions. It reads, Find a partner, draw 3 cards per person, don't share your cards unless otherwise noted, read the top of the card to establish a distance, get comfortable, use verbal language if you must, set a timer if you wish, negotiate consent, perform or contemplate the card, if you draw a blank, improvise, stop at any time, always prioritize respect, please return the cards when finished. There's a little icon of a knot, and below that it reads, These exercises encourage physical touch, guided contemplation, and interpersonal communication. If you are not in the body/mind/emotional space to relinquish personal boundaries, this might not be for you. When I open the box, there's a small instructional booklet. It repeats some of the information on the exterior of the box and also says, talk about your intentions with your partner. You don't necessarily have to tell them exactly what you're planning at all times. Sometimes surprises are fun, but you don't want to do anything your partner hates either. Pay attention and slow down. Don't rush into things you haven't tried yet. Establish a safe word or a code word that means stop, really, I mean it. If you are playing non-verbally, establish another way to say enough. One common solution is to ring a bell. Be a calming agent. Regardless of whether you seek to resolve conflict with your partner or you are dealing with your own conflict, your response can escalate or decrease the intensity of the problem. To be calming, provide an objective or neutral point of view. Encourage the formation of an actionable plan of how you are going to work with your partner to achieve a resolution. We also have a little bio for Jeff. He's an artist, designer, facilitator, and educator living in Western Massachusetts. His work inspires cultures of trauma-informed support and circulates resources through publications, media, and conceptual social spaces at Jeff Casper Studio. I've drawn 3 cards. The back of this card has a very loopy and asymmetrical knot. A lot of the lines are together throughout the knot. It reads, keep a distance of less than 1 foot. This card requires consent. Reflect on a time you were hugged by another person. You know, two arms around your upper body, forming a close embrace by crossing necks, resting each other's heavy heads on each other's shoulders. Think of a situation, like a birthday party or a family reunion. What might that hug feel like? Recreate that hug with your partner. The next card, the knot on this card is another one where they start from opposite sides and loop through each other before going back on their way. It reads, keep a distance of no more than 1 foot. Sit or stand very still. Follow the subtle movements and gestures of your partner. Carefully scrutinize every inch of their body from head to toe. Notice without judgment what they might want you to ignore. Keep this up for at least 5 minutes. Let your mind wander naturally, but always return to your partner. If you do need to center on the sound of their breath or your own, do so. The third card, the knot on this card, is smaller. It's like the last one, but one line juts out to the side. It reads, hold a distance no less than 2 feet. Think about doing something that you know will definitely humiliate your partner. Before you do that thing, do the exact opposite. This piece is by Lucchesa Brompman Verissimo, titled Winged Survival from 2023, and it's made of cardboard and acrylic paint. This is the tallest object on the conveyor belt. It juts up. It has kind of feathered, pointy shapes coming down the side, kind of like a drawing of a pine tree. And there's handwritten text that fills the full shape. And on one side, it says wings. It says actually winged survival. The words fill the whole space, and so the breaks are in different places. So it takes a moment to puzzle out the flow of the letters and make out the words. And the other side says, we hold us.
Kaya Davis has 3 works in the show. They're all titled with The Color and then Gummy Bear, all made of knitted yarn and all from 2024. And these are small, super soft bears. They fit about in one of my hands, and they take the shape of a gummy bear. So there's a head with 2 little ears, and then it's kind of sitting upright with little limbs extending, arms above and legs below. And it's a very lush, velvety yarn texture, and they also have a kind of firm filling, so they when you squeeze it, it doesn't squish all the way. Peter Harris has 2 pieces in this show, both untitled. One is wax pastel on braille printed paper, and one is graphite on braille printed paper from 2019. So both of these use a piece of a brailled book as the drawing surface. In one, Peter's drawn on the brailled side, on the other, Peter drew on the reverse. And the marks made over the paper feel very looping and flowing. There's a lot of speed and action in the mark making. Yeah, one is just simple graphite, blackish gray, a kind of blackish gray swirl. And the other one is a mixing of pink and green. And there's this beautiful moment to the right side where the green really swirls and gets a little bit more compact. This piece is by M. Kettner, titled The Levitation. It's from 2024 and uses the materials cotton, silk, acrylic thread, woven around walnut. And M actually wrote a description of this piece. A small sculpture of a supine, tube-shaped figure made from a wooden rod that's been woven over in red, purple, and black thread. A round red head with pale green eyes sprouts from one end of the wooden rod. On the other end are 2 red feet. The long body is bound in a checkered and diamond-patterned tapestry, with small keyholes for the walnut wood to peek through. The figure appears to be levitating as it balances on 4 smaller red heads, with 4 pairs of little hands embroidered along its sides, lifting. The group is stitched together in a solemn procession or a careful transport of someone injured, or a game of light as a feather, stiff as a board.